Scott Bloomquist goes for a wild ride. Chase Randall has a scary crash. Updates on the World of Outlaws and High Limit, and plenty more on this Sunday show. Let's go. It's Sunday, June 9th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is Dirt Tracker Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. We'll start first today with the 30th Dirt Late Model Dream at Eldora. Jonathan Davenport, your winner in dominating fashion. He led all 100 laps from the pole to score Dream win number 3 in his career. The biggest challenge on the night for JD was the heat race. It took him 4 laps, though, to go from 4th to the lead, and then that heat win put him on the pole for the big show, where he was never really challenged out front. He was gone at the checkered by almost 6 seconds. There was some solid racing behind him. He had Bobby Pierce going 9th to 2nd, Dale McDowell 19th to 6th, and top 5s for Brandon Overton, Hudson O'Neill, and Chris Madden. Nice charges as well for Max Blair and Devin Gilpin. There weren't really any big surprises on the day, and it definitely felt like Davenport was the guy to beat coming into the weekend and all weekend. The 2 prelim winners in Ricky Thornton Jr. and Devin Moran didn't really contend. RTJ down in 8th, Moran 12th after starting 5th. It was a solid bounce back, though, for Bobby Pierce, who had his engine go south on Thursday after leading laps in that prelim feature. Moran's Friday win broke the winless streak for the Moran family at Eldora since Donnie's $1 million win. Can we call the curse broken, or does it not count until Devin wins a crown jewel there? I'll leave that one up to you guys. It was definitely a bit of a ho-hum feature. I saw some smattering of comments about it, but you have to give Davenport his props for how good they are at Eldora. 5th crown jewel win there since 2021. He's been through differing rule packages, different crew chiefs, but still incredible at Eldora. Also of note was Scott Bloomquist's wild heat race crash yesterday. He started out the day in a solid spot to make the night's main event, starting heat 2 from the pole, but his dream was over after just 4 laps yesterday. He was falling down through the order and racing with Shannon Babb when he got turned head-on into the backstretch wall. The Zero was absolutely destroyed after spinning and flipping wildly towards turn 3, easy for me to say. Bloomer emerged after a few minutes and gave the crowd a salute, and then later he was seen with a wrap on his left wrist. His season was already in a precarious position because of destroyed equipment, and this incident will likely further slow his chances for more racing. It's a shame because he'd shown some speed. I have no idea how this crash even happens with 2 veterans involved here. Babb had thrown a slider at him, and Bloomer was crossing back under, but I have a hard time believing Babb did it on purpose, but a very weird deal to get right-reared like that in a heat race. Also wanted to point out as well that DIRTRACKR and Eldora officials were cracking down on the noses on cars through the tech process all weekend. Teams are allowed a maximum of 90 inches across the front, and the fenders can't extend beyond the front tires by more than an inch. But officials found cars well beyond the max, including one that was supposedly 100 inches wide. It seems like every year at Eldora there is a rules focus for officials, and this season it was noses. I have heard that bodies will continue to be under scrutiny at Eldora, as there is belief by boss people that the wild aero stuff has hurt racing at the track. Feel free to use the comment section below to leave your thoughts on the weekend's proceedings at Eldora. Even though the focus was on Eldora, there were other late model shows this weekend. Tyler Emery and Greg Satterley won the first 2 Appalachian Mountain Speedweek shows. A bit surprised to see Satterley not go to Eldora. He's a guy we've seen win prelim shows there during Crown Jewel events in the past. The App Speedweek as well has been utilizing those painted tires to denote which compounds each of those teams is on, if you were curious. Dylan McCowan was an MLRA winner, and Chad Becker and Dustin Sorensen also picked up $5,000 late model scores. At I-70 Motorsports Park, the Kubota High Limit Sprint cars were in town for 2 nights and the Race Rudine Foundation event. Corey Day won the Friday night show, and it was Rico Abreu taking down $26,000 last night for his 2nd straight win in the event. Rico and the 24 team definitely finding a bit more pace as of late. They have moved around Corey Day for 4th in the standings. I was a bit surprised the car counts weren't better both nights. I thought with big money on the line and so many sprint cars kind of in the area that there'd be a lot of cars there. But looking back at some past races at I-70, these 2 shows were right in line with what we'd seen at the track previously with both the World of Outlaws and the All-Stars. The other big note for the championship is the hit that Tyler Courtney took on Friday. Something locked up in that front end during the feature, and the team was not able to make it back out of the work area trying to make repairs. So a 23rd place finish for Sunshine. They bounced back to 7th on Saturday, but with Brad Sweet finishing 2nd and 5th, the gap has ballooned up to 65 points headed to Eagle on Tuesday. Those are nights the 7BC cannot afford if they are going to keep pressure on Sweet in the KKR 49. Have you guys noticed as well the charity donations that are happening with these high-limit races in Victory Lane? An anonymous donor is allowing drivers to give away $1,000 for each win, and the drivers get to choose a charity. Corey Day picked Driven to Save Lives on Friday. Rico matched the $1,000 for a total $2,000 check for Jack Superhero Foundation last night. And then last week at Butler, it was James McFadden picking Team Jack, and Mark Birch matched it as well. Pretty cool to see these guys giving back, and hopefully it will be a boost to help other folks get involved. High Limit back Tuesday at Eagle with over $50,000 to the winner, and some Outlaw teams definitely coming in for that one. Since we mentioned the Outlaws, let's talk about their weekend as well. 2 nights, one at River Cities, one at Ogilvie. Things are starting to get serious here as we enter the summer, and this championship is wide open right now. 5 drivers separated by less than 100 points, and David Gravel very much at risk at losing the lead. He got caught up in a crash on Friday at River Cities, but thanks to some wild work area thrashing, he was able to get back out and salvage a top 10. He hustled his ass off through the rest of that race to stay on the lead lap. He was 6th last night at Ogilvie, but with his 4 closest challengers finishing ahead of him both nights, things are tighter than ever. Gio Selzy won on Friday, holding off Sheldon Honshield, and then that was scoring his first win since Cotton Bowl in March. And then last night, we had an absolute barn burner late, with Sheldon nipping both Macedo and Buddy Kofoid at the line for the win. Sheldon has now won 3 of the last 5 Outlaw races, still probably the most exciting driver in the sport. Macedo, though, 23 straight top 10s, 17 straight top 5s right now. He's just 10 back of Gravel. Buddy Kofoid at 22 straight top 10s, and Donnie Schatz's 11 straight. These teams are all finding their stride, and any off night is going to sting. This fight heads to Knoxville next weekend for 2 nights. Did you guys see this crazy footage of Chase Randall's crash at Knoxville on Saturday? Dusty Zomer ended up spun in turn 3, and Randall had nowhere to go. He nailed Zomer, went for a wild ride, and then the 2KS burst into flames because the fuel tank was ruptured. Randall was quickly out of the top of the car. The Knoxville safety team on the scene very quickly. Knoxville safety team, one of the best in the business. Randall was okay, but a very wild moment, and glad to see no injuries in the aftermath. Take your fire safety very serious here, kids. Carson McCarl, the night's winner over brother Austin. Weekend Indiana Midget Week wins went to Emerson Axum at Lincoln Park. Hat tip to those of you out there who took advantage of a plus 7,000 set of odds for Axum to win that one. I saw there was some nice paydays off that miss by the odds makers. Jason Persley won Friday at Bloomington, and last night it was Logan Seavey at Hobstock. Midget Week wraps up tonight at Kokomo with Persley on top of the week-long standings. He's also leading the season championship as well over Cannon McIntosh and Ryan Timms. Ohio Sprint Speedweek also off and running. Cap Henry scored the win in round number 1 on Friday at Attica, topping Greg Wilson and Emerson Axum. Saturday's round at Fremont got started but did not finish because of rain. They will try again today at Waynesfield. Racing action starts at 6. This race can be watched live on Flow. Ohio Sprint Speedweek kind of flipping back and forth between Dirt Vision and Flow all week, so just make sure you take a look at that before you try to watch one of those. We'll call that good for today's daily show. Make sure to hit up the streaming schedule at DIRTRACKR.com/watch tonight to see your Sunday options. Still a ton of dirt racing yet to happen this weekend, so don't miss out. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday out there. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.